We're in the Flinders Ranges now, and we're doing a bush walk. I believe it's pronounced Yaluna Trail. Starts at the Aruna campground, which is where we're staying. Haven't been able to really record too much so far because it's been so windy. But we're in a little bit of a nook now, and it's a bit more sheltered. So yeah, it's very picturesque. It's about 8 k's. We're going to do a little bit of an offshoot to a lookout. So we'll see if we can get some good footage for you. Have a look. The wind really picked up last night. We were just sleeping and then all of a sudden the tent was shaking. And it was blowing a gale, and it sort of has been on and off ever since. And it's not supposed to ease off until about 6 o'clock tonight. So that's pretty annoying. But maybe it's keeping the flies at bay. One thing that South Australia's got right is the signage on their walks is really good. So there's lots of maps and there's lots of information. And they have these little things as well that tell you how far you've got to go each way. Except that it doesn't show you how far it is the other way. Never mind, they mostly do. That's what I mean. Taking a little detour to Red Hill Lookout. Didn't look very far on the map, but you know, kind of is. And there was a lot of down before we went up, so it means we have to go up on the way back. It's offensively windy up here. It's really quite awful. It's cold, it's windy, I hate it, but it is very beautiful. So I'll share with you now the view. Enjoy. Yeah. Nearly stepped on a lizard. Poor guy, he's just hiding. Yeah, so we've nearly finished the walk. It's taken us about 3.5 hours, and it'll be just about 12.8 k's, I reckon, by the time we get back, thanks to our little detour of an additional 4 kilometres. Overall, it was a pretty nice walk. The scenery was really good, but the wind was just a real bummer. It really annoyed me. But that's just probably because I'm a bit precious. Saw heaps of snake markings on the trails and the sandy bits. Didn't see any snakes though, which is great. And yeah, lots of emu poo too. No emus. Sonia, what are your thoughts on the walk?
It's quite nice. I reckon the extra 4 k's to go to the lookout was worth it. I liked the lookout, but the wind made it impossible to stay up there for very long.
Pretty good summary.
Emus crossing. Couldn't really see if that was the 3rd one, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's pretty busy emus crossing this morning. What am I saying? Emus crossing. Some baby emus. I'll still get you an ice cream, Sonia. We're doing another walk today. This one is short-ish and steep. So we'll see how we go with that. The description said that there is a lot of reptiles. So hopefully I'm not the scary kind. But Sonia and I have gone full gator mode just in case. We're just scrambling up this rock, and then we saw a goat, and it just cruised up real easy. We'll see if we can grab a shot of him. I think he's left us behind. Yeah, flicker in your tongue. That's alright.
You got me, mate.
We made it to the top, and it was hard. It was quite a hard walk. It was really quite steep in places. It took us about an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, it was a good walk, but it was quite difficult. I'm quite hungry. Pretty good views. Reasonable walk. I'm going to say it's a 7 out of 10. It's not the best that we've ever done, but it's alright. But it was hard.
What have we got here?
Gang. Just thought I'd do a quick little video because we've been here for 3 nights at the Aruna campground in the Flinders Ranges, and it's either been windy, or there's been flies, or there's been windy and flies. Anyway, this morning it is crystal clear still, and there's no flies yet. It was 0.9 degrees this morning, so it's very cold. We're having a bit of a tough time getting moving. But it's been a really nice campground except for the wind and the flies. Flinders Ranges have been pretty cool. Very different to what I expected. I'm not sure if I love it or not. Because Sonia and I are both we're really close to home now, and we're kind of feeling like we're a bit over this trip. We're a bit drained from it. So it might be this sort of place we need to come back and check out again. It's not as far as, you know, the Northern Territory or anything, so we'll just pop over for a weekend. You know, have a look at these hills. Today is the 7th of September. Some of you will know this is a special day. We spent the night at a gravel pit next to the train tracks. At about midnight it got really windy, and now it's still really windy.
Threatening rain.
Yeah, threatening rain, threatening thunderstorms. We just drove up the road to a place called Ollery. Never heard of it before. Just so that we could have our breakfast here and perhaps use the toilet. And it's been a constant stream of people pulling up to use the bloody toilet. We're in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, we're just hanging out in the car out of the wind and the dust storms, waiting to use the toilet. Nice little town. Actually, it's not a very nice little town, but it did have a nice little pub. We had some dinner there last night. It was delightful. So we're going to head to Broken Hill today. Check it out, have a bit of a look around. Apparently there's a bit more there than we thought. Looked it up, there's a population of about 17,000 people. So, decent sized little town. But yeah, days like today are not helping our lack of enthusiasm. I'm finding that anything like this, bad weather, wind, sore toe, I just think, let's just go home. But we're so close, we just need to hold on for a little bit longer and we'll be there.
Popping in the bakery, get a spot of lunch. Excuse me, are you an emu?
We're at Mungo National Park now. This is probably going to be the last stop on our trip. Last, proper stop on the trip anyway. So, a few years ago, a friend of mine told me about how she ended up here in a Toyota Corolla. She thought it was going to shake itself to pieces because the road was pretty bad. And she described it, I looked into it, and I thought, wow, sounds pretty cool. So basically it's a dry lake where remains have been found that have been dated to approximately 40,000 years old. And some other remains that are also very old, which indicate the first evidence of a ceremonial cremation. So anyway, basically the gist of it is it's the site where evidence has been found of long-term occupation of Australia by human beings. So, whether or not you're into all of that sort of stuff, I thought it was a pretty cool thing to come check out. So, we're going to check it out. We've just been waiting in the car for a tour group to sort of get out of the way. Not really a tour group. There's like a guided tour going, and we didn't want to pay $50 each to do it because we're too tight. So, we're just waiting for them to get out of the way.
Andrew's making friends.
So we've just done a little walk at the first stop, which is kind of the edge of the old lake, and then there's just a few signs, some information that sort of shows the, what the different formations are and things like that, and talks a bit more about where things were found and ages of things and what life would have been like here and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's quite cold here today. It was about 0 degrees overnight, had some ice on the car. It's sunny now, but probably 14 degrees I reckon, with a bit of a breeze. So, feels like a long time ago that we were in Darwin. But never mind. Sonia's got a puffer vest on, that's how cold it is. Anyway, this is the view of the what they call the Walls of China, another Wall of China reference. There's a tour group over there getting shown around. We're not allowed to join them though, but that's okay. Shouldn't walk on that anyway. So yeah, pretty barren landscape, but then over on that side, it's all lush. As lush as it gets out here anyway. Behind me you can see the landscape, evidence of a lot of erosion and many flies. Actually they all just left. Anyway, yeah, nothing really saying how long this erosion took. It looks really recent, but I guess there's not that much rain here, so maybe it took a lot longer. little bit like the Pinnacles down in Cape Palliser. Doing a little walk. It's only 500 metres. Don't know how good it's going to be. We just came across the funniest thing. Check out this sign. That's the old wool shed from when this was a farm, or a station or whatever. That was quite cool. It's all like, you know, jointed timber, not like no nails or fasteners or anything. It's all just used joinery. It's quite cool. We're just trying to find out where the walk starts. Looks like it's back where we came from. Earlier we did the self-guided driving tour, which is a 70-kilometre loop around Lake Mungo, and that's where, you know, some of the things were that we filmed earlier. 70 k's is, it didn't feel that long, but I suppose it did take us a few hours. There's a lot of driving with not much going on, but so I guess if you're looking for things to experience, then there isn't really too much going on, but it is quite cool to just drive through the landscape and sort of just absorb it a bit. You're either into that or you're not. I didn't mind it so much. Sonia got a little bit bored, I think. But anyway, we're going to do this walk now. The flies have really ramped it up today. I think yesterday there were none because it was just too windy. Today is a beautifully clear day. Hardly a breath of wind and a million flies. Kind of weird to be in a national park where there's remnants of farming. It's kind of crazy that, you know, this is such a site of significance archaeologically, but, you know, a while ago they just farmed it. It was a pretty good walk. I think it was only supposed to be 2.5 k's, but I felt like it'd take ages, that one. So maybe it's just because we were walking slow. Anyway, it started off not much wildlife, but then we saw lots of kangaroos, lots of birds. It was quite cool. Yeah, tired now, heading back to the car.